Meet Deshaun Green, a.k.a. the Magic Man.
Just like that, I take the ring, it jumps right on the finger. If I take the ring, put it on the finger, I can actually pull it through flesh and bone. And that right there is a real ring. At least I think it is. So strange, I have no idea how it works. I think what it is that magic calls people. And you have to either pick up the phone and have a full conversation, or you hang up or you never answer. And what I do is I picked it up, and I've been having a conversation ever since. So I think that magic chooses people, and then you have to like choose it back.
He's a bit of a celebrity on the streets of Manchester.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of different types of magic, and I dabbled in a few. One of them, my main one, is up close or strolling magic. So it's very intimate. It's very like front and center. I can go around, show you something like a miracle right in front of your very eyes instead of being on a stage. And we'll start by it changing into your card. It's the strangest thing.
I think the best thing is how surprised people look, because they're like, oh, you know, a young kid doing magic, isn't that cute? Until they see him do the magic, and then they're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Is that your card?
Yeah.
His time growing up in Manchester wasn't always magical. He says he struggled with a toxic relationship with his mother, an abusive stepfather, and a dad in prison.
So I guess in a sense, there's always been that underlining of like, what you see is not always what you get, and my whole life was turned upside down. So I met my father when I was 8 years old in the Concord State Men's Prison, and he showed me two magic tricks, one where he had me pick a card and then put it in the deck and find it, and then he took a stack of coins and pushed it through the table at the visitation room, which was a David Copperfield moment for me.
After that, Deshaun spent hours practicing and studying magic.
I used a lot of YouTube, and I got obsessed with psychology because I wanted to understand like what was behind, like in your brain, what was working, right? So I know how to make a coin vanish, but why in your mind does it vanish?
Deshaun's first live audiences were started trying his friends and classmates.
And everyone loved the pickpocketing stuff I would do. They really loved it. I remember one time it drew such a big crowd. The police and the principal came because they thought it was a fight. And then they just saw me stealing and they're like, oh, it's okay.
Magic quickly became something reliable when the rest of his life often felt unsteady.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was pretty much consistent in my life, and it was something that was a part of me, so I could just do it whenever I wanted to. I could manipulate reality and make it what I wanted to, and so the Magic Man was a great place to escape, because this is a man who can do anything, anything's possible, and he doesn't have to deal with what I have to deal with. You know, Magic Man, Deshaun Green, two separate people. See, you ready? If I give it a little swing, it almost looks like there's a card in between.
Webster House in Manchester provided a safe landing spot for Deshaun several times over the years, including recently when he turned 18 and found himself homeless.
Michelle, how are you?
How are you? He is larger than life. He's just this, he's so dynamic and compassionate. And the way that he just intertwines all of his skills and his communication skills and his magic. And he's a good kid. He really is a good kid.
Now, if I take the card and put it in the middle of the deck, could you...
He has since found housing, but he returns often to try out his latest tricks and to help connect with the kids.
Go in and grab that card that's sticking out.
Stop it. How do you do that? And he's stuck around ever since, from coming and teaching magic to come and be a guest speaker to just be a good influence and role model for the kids, and asking for how can he make an impact on the world and leave a positive mark on the world.
Recently, Deshaun's tricks have caught the eyes of magicians outside of the Queen City.
I'm a member of the Academy of the Magical Arts at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California. And what that is, again, is real life Hogwarts, really.
And after a visit out west, he has decided to leave Manch Vegas and embark on his biggest adventure yet. He's headed to Hawaii to perform at the Waikiki Beach Hotel in Honolulu.
So I'm going to be learning the ropes of more magic, how to do magic in theater, how to sell tickets, and getting paid while I'm out there. And then after that, I'm going to move and get a residence in LA.
It's a big move for the Magic Man, but as one of his signature sayings goes, if not now, when?
So I always say, if you can do a trick, it doesn't make you a magician. It's 50% acting and 50% the tricks. So I realized I'm doing more than just doing tricks. I'm creating magical moments, and I really tried to focus on that for the past 2 years now, trying to create that.
And I told them, I said, here is always home. No matter what happens in Hollywood, here is always home. So come home. If you need to come home, there's no shame in that. And if you make it big, remember home.
I want people to know where I came from, and I want them to know that no matter where you come from, you can make a brighter and bigger future, and to me, that's really important.